Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and I have a question for you. Who ended the relationship between Marvel Studios and Scarlett Johansson? Did Scarlett Johansson want out of the character, or did the MCU want out of Scarlett Johansson? Now, before you answer, I'm going to put some stuff out there and make some suggestions here, and I'm just guessing. But I'm curious now, because I thought I understood it, but now with this new headline that just dropped today, I'm confused who ended the relationship. Who actually wanted this, and why did it go this route? Let's start with the article from Empire, this exclusive that comes in that says Black Widow movie will hand the baton to Florence Pugh, says director Cate Shortland. Shortland is directing the new Black Widow film, which was obviously scheduled to come out this May, but due to the pandemic is now coming out in the fall, we hope. Who knows anymore? But she shared this quote, admitting that talking about Florence Pugh's character, Yelena, which a lot of people have been speculating would take over the role. For those that are unfamiliar with Florence Pugh, she's a very up-and-coming actress. She just got nominated for an Academy Award for Little Women. She was in Midsummer, which I thought was really great, really creepy, if you like that sort of thing. And people have just sort of been assuming, oh, well, she's the hot new actress out in the world. Clearly, MCU wants to get in with her. She could use a big tentpole like this. Could she be replacing Scarlett Johansson? Well, the director is pretty much confirming that that's the case here. Kevin Feige realized that the audience would expect an origin story, so of course we went in the opposite direction, Shortland tells Empire about Black Widow, the movie, and we didn't know how great Florence Pugh would be. We knew she would be great, but we didn't know how great. I'm going to continue the quote, but pause there for a second. We didn't know how great she would be. So they're acknowledging they didn't have a plan to sort of cast someone in this role that was going to be in other movies. She's admitting this by saying we didn't know how great Florence Pugh would be. We knew she'd be great, but we didn't know how great. Scarlett is so gracious, like, oh, I'm handing her the baton. So it's going to propel another female storyline. So now, look, you could read this a bunch of ways. A female storyline as in this movie, like she's just leading the baton in this movie, not another franchise. I mean, obviously it'll depend how the audience reacts to this character, I'm sure. But it also is just screaming like there's not a definitive plan. They're sort of like, well, wait, yeah. And then beyond just sort of the clear lack of a plan, it's telling when she says Scarlett was like, oh, I'm handing her the baton. Like she didn't realize that. Wouldn't you like sort of know that or ask? So what's going on? Is she the next one? To have Scarlett Johansson like mid-shoot, whatever this was, say, oh, that I'm handing her the baton. So it's going to propel another female storyline. Okay. I got thoughts. All right, so look, that's how you read. That's the quote that came out. And then further quote, sort of, because I was always frustrated, like the article says, a lot of fans were frustrated that the audience never got to process Natasha's tragic sacrifice in Vormir. In Endgame, the fans were upset that Natasha did not have a funeral. It's true, they didn't. But Iron Man did. Whereas Scarlett, when I spoke to her about it, said Natasha wouldn't have wanted a funeral, explained Shortland. She's too private, and anyway, people don't really know who she is. So what she did in this film was allow the ending to be the grief the individuals felt, rather than a big public outpouring. I think that's a fitting ending for her. Look, Tony Stark, half those people didn't even really know who he was either. There are a lot of people showing up to that just because, right? Same thing could happen. They could have had both of them there. They could have had a multiple, right? They could have had, I guess Steve Rogers, was he? No, Did they know he was gone at that point? No, because he's there. He shows up. I can't even remember now. Yeah, he goes after the end of it. It's been a while. Anyway, they could have had multiple services there to sort of have all their colleagues, the Avengers they lost. But anyway, clearly, but they couldn't do that because I'm sure they lost a lot in the battle. There was probably a bunch of Wakandans and stuff that also lost their lives. But that was, anyway, I digress. They could have given her some sort of moment. I do think they could have done that better. They didn't. They chose not to, and they didn't do all this because they kept saying, well, you got a movie, so, isn't that enough? And so she talks about, I found some quotes where she talks about sort of the, we wanted to leave the audience with the weight of that loss and the shock of it. But there was another quote that really sort of jumped at me even more, where she talks about the ending. I thought it was going to be easier, but it actually, at the time, I was standing on that ledge with Jeremy, and it was really upsetting. It did not make it any easier at all. And everybody kept saying, why are you so upset? You're going to be coming back. And I was like, this is terrible. I was so sad, like profoundly sad. So was she cool with it? Was she cool with this whole idea of her dying is what the question is. Or did Marvel just sort of make it happen? I mean, fans were surprised too. When you go through sort of there was a poll, which Infinity War survivors fans would most be upset to see die in Endgame. You know, she was lower on the list, pretty low, right around Ant-Man. You know, they would be most upset to see these people die. They didn't expect her to die, so they also just didn't care as much. Pepper Potts being the least, Hawkeye less popular than Black Widow, mind you, but Hawkeye had his own TV show in the works, so that's why they weren't going to kill him. And Black Widow, they sort of were like, well, what do we do with her? Right? That's sort of been Natasha's problem in the MCU all along. And they're like, well, let's just kill her off then. But wait, we didn't do the solo movie. Oh, well, we'll do one. We'll figure it out. We'll put it in between one of the movies. All right, look, I don't know why she left, and I'm sure we'll hear more as time goes on. She'll probably say something someday. There'll be some quote she pulls, or she was disappointed, or whatever it was. But she's also going to be grateful for the experience. It gave her a lot of money. This new Black Widow movie gave her $15 million, from what I heard. So she got a major payday finally for one of these films, sort of to make up for the past ones. But look, I'll be honest. I've never shied away from my true feelings about this movie, Black Widow. I'm not that excited for it. Not because I don't like the character or Scarlett Johansson. I'm just not excited for a mid-chapter to a book we've already read. It's like going back and doing a movie around the time of Civil War. It just feels like, well, you should have covered it then if it was important. It feels a little bit like we're a footnote. Like, oh, well, wait, we got more because we're going to introduce more characters. That'll be important, right? Because, Yelena, right? Yeah, you guys like her, right? Because, she's going to be in more. Why? Why? I don't understand it. I don't understand the need for this movie. I'm going to see it, and I'm going to see it especially now since we've been on lockdown. I really think the lockdown is going to help this film whenever it comes out. I hope soon. We'll see. But I really think this lockdown is going to help the film get even more money. I really do think there was some Marvel fatigue setting in. And I didn't think it was going to do as well as Captain Marvel. But now, with the movie theaters being closed down as long as they are, whatever movie ends up coming out in that first wave when people actually go back to the theaters, people are going to be more forgiving and they're going to be excited to see a movie. And this could be one of those movies where it's like, yes, I'm sure it's exciting. Even Captain Marvel had moments of excitement. Didn't like that movie, though. And I hope this is better than that one. But this whole excuse for the movie seems to just be introducing other characters, introducing her family. Did we need that? Honestly, did we need that? Why? Why do we need to know more of her Russian assassin family members that have never been around for all of these movies that we've known her? And then you're going to introduce these characters after you killed her, just so you can sort of have someone come in and be like, oh man, my sister's dead, or my fellow assassin's dead. Now I'm sad. It all just feels a little pandering, a little tacked on, a little too late. If they had made this Black Widow movie 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would have been down. If they had the guts to do it then and make a cool spy flick with her going on a mission, and it was part of the sort of the ongoing storyline, great. I didn't need her backstory in Age of Ultron. I thought it was one of the dumbest parts, the whole ballerina school, and she's barren, and she can't have kids, so she's not a woman. Look, that whole thing just felt a little like, really? It just took away some of the mystery that I thought made that character so great. She was such an interesting character that she was never really going to reveal her background. That was part of the appeal to me of that character, of like, she's so ingrained in such a spy, you never really get to know who she is. Is she ever being genuine? That's a fascinating character to play. All these prequels and reboots, it always ruins things. Look, I still feel that way about Anakin in the prequels. It makes me like Darth Vader less. I really do think we actually need a cooler movie with Darth Vader in his prime killing people. Because as it all stands, we have the scene in Rogue One is really what it is. And we have some moments in the original trilogy. But man, I do kind of want to see Darth Vader when he was in his prime, right? I guess you could say the same thing then about this. If like we get a cool Black Widow movie of her in her prime with her family and some extra characters, all right, maybe I'm trying to talk myself into it. But, it's just I feel like I've seen it. We've seen this before. We've never seen Darth Vader in his prime. We've seen Black Widow in her prime. So Sure. Look, I'm glad she got the payday. I do like Scarlett Johansson. I got no problem with the character. I do like Black Widow as a character. Again, I like the mystery. So this one is a little worrisome to me because it's going to take away some of that mystery. Now, the question is, did they force her out? Why did she leave? Why is she so sad? You know, why was it so sad when she left? Because she realized, man, I got to end this character. Was that a choice she made? Was she telling Marvel, you know what, do whatever you can. I'm growing out of this character. It's too much work for me to do the routines. I want out. Or was Marvel like, you know what, Scarlett? We don't like all the stuff you've been doing in the news. There's been a lot of hate on Scarlett Johansson between her saying anybody can play a tree, whatever, to her Woody Allen stuff. The media does not like her. I think it's all BS. I don't know why she gets so much flack in the media. But could Marvel have been like, all right, well, let's start pushing her out slowly. She's getting old. We missed our shot. Florence Pugh, though, yeah, let's invest in her. She's nicer. She's a nicer new model. We can invest and put the Marvel stamp on and have a real female hero. I don't know. It just feels a little bit odd. Now, if Scarlett Johansson wants to come out and clear all this out and say, yeah, no, I totally wanted to get out of there, but I haven't seen her do that. She's had a lot of opportunities. I've been looking around for quotes. If I'm wrong, please hit me up on social media or down in the comments. I couldn't find any quotes where she's like, oh yeah, I wanted out. I was sick of it. Like Harrison Ford was always like, I want out. I'm done with the role. Please kill me off. I feel like even Robert Downey Jr. was sort of like, all right, enough already. You could see Chris Evans. He's like, I'm done. But did Scarlett actually say that anywhere? I don't think so. They keep justifying it by saying, well, we killed her off, but fans, don't worry, she's got a movie coming out. And if you could look around, you'll see that. Like, oh yeah, we got the movie coming out. She's not dead. Guys, she's in one movie, and then she's dead. And then it's over. And granted, she'll have a movie in all the prior movies, but they're replacing her. She's done in the timeline. She's confirmed that she's dead. I saw another article. I thought I had it up, but I don't. But they asked, she was doing a Jimmy Kimmel interview, or sorry, it was Jimmy Fallon. I mixed them all up. And Jimmy kept asking, oh, well, you could, and she's like, no, it's dead. We're dead. She's confirmed it. The character's dead. Now, of course, money changes everything, and if they want her back, I'm sure they could figure out a way to do a flashback in some TV show they do in the future, or whatever it is. Or they could do and go into a different timeline and pull her from there, like they sort of did from Gamora. Anything is possible in the MCU, but she has made it clear, no, the character's dead. She can't come back. Unless they do some weird, crazy thing down the line, which... who knows? She's dead. So why did they kill her? Why did they need to kill her? Hawkeye had a show, so they couldn't kill him. They already were killing off Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk. They're keeping around because they got She-Hulk brewing. And then there's Thor, who they have another movie with. And they're like, well, let's keep Thor around. Maybe he does Guardians of the Galaxy. We got some lanes we can take him in. But the rest of that sort of original contract, they're like, we can't afford him anymore. It's time for an upgrade. Let's get someone new in. We'll lock him in for 3-4 movies. Yay, we got to give you a movie. Thanks so much, Scarlett. See ya. All right, who's next is how it feels like to me. So again, all reasons I'm not that excited for this movie. I'm going to be excited because I haven't seen a movie in forever, so I stand by that. But what do you guys think about all this? Tell me in the comments below. Do you think this was a mutual decision? You think Scarlett's glad to be out? Do you think she's regretting a little bit now? Like, well, I probably could have done a couple more movies. I wouldn't have minded being in a couple other pieces of doing a movie with Hawkeye or something. Do you think it was right? Is this sort of justice for her of like, yay, we killed her off, but we gave her a movie. We gave her a mid-chapter. You guys get to go back and see one more adventure with her. And then she's really dead. What do you guys think? Tell me down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe here for more content. Check out our new woke trailer, canceling Back to the Future. It's a great film. It shouldn't be canceled, but I'm just making fun of canceled culture, so click it. Check out Movie World. I got a lot of fun content over here. Just did a video. Check it out. Please support Movie World, my second channel for movie analysis. That's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.